Hi, it's Chris Whipper from On the Bus Sales Training, and we are in our class on getting more out of Zoom. And it's going to be somewhat of a loose class today, but we're going to start it now. So I think one of the keys to Zoom is to make it, I should call them virtual meetings, so we're not aligning ourselves with any one product, but to virtual meetings is really making it feel as normal as possible and as ordinary and as regular as we used to do things. And I think in many ways, this new medium could become, for some of us, our future one. You know, I think for many of us, we're finding that if we do these platforms right, they work just fine. So for me, there's always going to be an order of events. And it starts probably with a referral or meeting someone at a networking event. There's some kind of introduction. And I don't think we go for the kill right away. And that, you know, I don't even like that terminology, but I think it starts with a one-to-one. And we can do that on these platforms. There is no reason you can't invite somebody to have a cup of coffee. I'm having one with you right now. Via these platforms. And there's no reason it should feel any different than meeting someone at Starbucks. And you don't have to travel. And the only real disadvantage I have found is it's difficult to have multiple conversations at the same time. So when you're in a crowded Zoom room or virtual room, it's hard to have multiple people speak. But back to the one-to-one, I think it's set up the same way. Love to sit down, learn more about you and your business, tell you a little bit about mine. Maybe we can share a referral or two. When's a good time for you to meet? It's that kind of thing, and that's where it starts. Just like we used to in our old playbook, right? So you guys can nod, you can say yes or something, but yeah, it's just like it always was, right? Then we meet with the person with the intent of asking for a referral. We're not there to sell anyone on anything, but you know, if we're going to give the virtual tour of what we do, we might as well ask for the referral. And then if they're interested, they can refer themselves. So I think that's the path we want to go down. But it starts sometimes for many of us in these Zoom meetings or these virtual meetings. So you notice today I have my virtual background up. So there's a few reasons for that. You don't know where I am right now. You just know that I'm talking to you. And that's really all that matters, is that I have your attention and you have mine. I could be sitting in my car at the beach in Asbury Park. I could be in the lobby of a hotel. I could be at an airport in a waiting area. I could be at my dining room table. I could be in my office. It doesn't matter. I'm in the Zoom room with you. That's what's mattered. We're grounded. We're in the moment together. We're sharing this time in this space. You notice I have my QR code up. So if you hold your camera over that, it will ask you if you would like to have my contact information. But that QR code is much more than just my contact information. It is all my social media. It is including YouTube. So it's showing all our videos and everything right at your fingertips. So it's almost like a web landing page. I can't explain it, but it works very well. And it's a buddy of mine who I met through networking, who has the product, and I can give you $10 off, which is like 15% if you want to get one for yourself. And I dig it. I like it because all the contact info is there. I think a real advantage in these Zoom meetings is the chat box. We don't have that opportunity when we meet live. We don't have that opportunity when we're in a busy room to private message someone across the room, right? You have access to them. Let's say it's an hour networking group. You have access to them. They have access to you. You can make an offer. You can put information in that chat box. Okay. I think also that in these events, in these Zoom calls, we are getting a little sloppy, and we are forgetting to give ourselves goals. How many of you are giving yourself a networking goal? Even though I facilitate most of the meetings I attend, which is sometimes 2 or 3 a day. Today it's 2. Tomorrow it's 1. Thursday it's 1. I don't know. I feel like there's an event every day that I'm running on some level. Thursday it's 2. But I have a networking goal, and that is to at least have 2 one-to-ones. Now, it can be prior to the event also. If I'm bringing a guest, that counts. But how many of us are still doing that? Are giving ourselves a goal and are recapping afterwards, seeing if we did that? I don't know why I'm losing my camera here, but we won't worry about it. Okay. Another thing also to be aware of always is the etiquette. Hey, Renee, can you mute your microphone if you don't mind? Is the etiquette. What are you doing in the background? What are you doing? Are you walking around? Are you literally on the phone during a call? Are you being disrespectful of other people's times? Are you sharing the moment with them? Are you being someone who's likable, referable, trustable, someone that they would want to engage with you and introduce you to others? So I think that's part of it. You know, kids and pets running in can be cute, and that's fine. But if it really distracts you, that can be difficult. I can't tell you how many calls I've been on where a cat comes across a keyboard, it feels like, and you know, it's kind of funny and it happens. And or how many times a kid has come in and, you know, said daddy, daddy, mommy, mommy, or whatever it is. And again, it all has to do, I think, with the interaction. It shows love, it shows everything else within the household. And that's another advantage to these, is we're getting to see people's homes and their environments. But you could also make it a big distraction for yourself. It's on you how you handle those moments. And I think for the most part, they're handled very well. Okay. So I think giving yourself a goal, making these meetings feel as normal as possible, as alike as they've always been, taking advantage of the technology, have a background, have a QR code, use the chat, network with a purpose, and know your order of events. Know what's going to happen next. Is it going to be a phone call? Is it going to be a LinkedIn connection? Is it going to be a one-to-one? Is it going to be an invite for some kind of kicking the tire thing? You know, Lois, you have classes. Are you going to invite them to a free class? Renee, you might have a lunch and learn. Are you going to invite them to a lunch and learn? But have a reason. Don't just go and wing it. And if you do, at least try to get the one-to-one. At least give yourself a goal. Okay. And I think that pretty much covers it in terms of where I wanted to go with today's talk. So it was quick and easy, but I think the takeaway for me is that you keep it normal, you keep it focused, you know why you're there, have fun, and be referable, and do what we do when we network. Does that make sense? Any questions? Any comments? Yes, go ahead.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay. All right, so we'll kill it there. So the only other thing I'd want to add is that it is a much easier platform to capture information, right? So if you want to get somebody's contact info, many times people are putting them in the chat boxes. You don't want to put your information in the chat box too early, because if somebody logs on afterwards, they won't see it. So you need to time that right. So if people are coming into the meeting late, they miss all the previous chats. They only get to see the chat from where they log on, if that makes sense. So if you're the first one there, you don't want to put your contact info in the chat, or no one will see it, literally. Okay? And learn how to copy and paste that information. It's not just highlighting and copying always. It depends on your virtual platform, but know how to get that. And sometimes that can be blocked also. You may have to ask the host. But you can always private message someone and say, hey, here's my cell phone number. Can we text and set up an appointment?
I have a question.
Great.
Okay, so I like your custom background. Do you know how to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, can you explain it?
Yeah, I reach out to a graphic artist like Marco, and have Marco make a virtual background. And then you can give them the QR code, because it's not as easy as one might think, because it needs to be right reading or reversed, and we need to have that done right. And with my dyslexic mind, it got confusing, so I needed someone else to do it for me.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Anything else?